We're living in a pandemic, and it's awful. And I think the question is, how do we get through this? How do we live healthy together? You know, it's when the thin veneer of civilization is peeled away, we start to discover what true humanity is all about. And I think one of the best things about all of this is that we can learn new practices to find out who we really are and what makes us better humans and a better community. And so I'd like to encourage you to share with me how you're getting through this. You know, I started the Kick Aspirational podcast to help people share their stories about how they live deliberately to break through barriers in their lives. I'd like to hear about that from you. Mr. Rogers, one of my favorites, Fred Rogers, said, you know, when he was scared and he saw things in the news that bothered him, his mother said, look for the helpers. He also said that anything human is mentionable, and anything that's mentionable is manageable. We need to talk about the things that scare us. I am scared to death of what might happen to my family. I have a son that lives in Paris, and he's living across an ocean. I have another son that's living up in LA, and he's in graduate school. You know, how are they doing? What's happening to them? My parents are in their 70s. Are they going to survive this? What are you worried about? How are you getting through this? How are you talking about it with people that you love? The other question I have is, you know, how are we practicing gratitude? How are we starting each morning and each evening with a meditation or a prayer of the things we're incredibly grateful for, the life we have, because this is still a beautiful world and there are still great people in it. The other question I'd have for you is, how are you practicing new sanitation? How are you practicing personal hygiene to break down this virus? What are you doing to practice social distancing, isolation, and quarantines? You know, we can't all be together physically, but we can get together virtually. What tools are you using? Are you using Zoom or House Party or other tools that you love to connect with people that matter to you so that you don't feel alone? How are you boosting your immunity? You know, as the Chief Operating Officer of New Age, I prefer Tahitian noni juice and cell defense to boost NK cells and really increase the amount of antioxidant value in the blood to fight inflammation in case a virus would attack. What are you doing? What are your practices? And I guess more importantly, how are you helping other people get through this? What are you doing to support people, your neighbors, older people in your community, people that need your help? I'd love to hear from you. You know, if there was ever a time where we need to live deliberately, where we need to be kick aspirational, where we need to share that message with other people, it's right now. And what I would like to hear from you, because kick aspirational is not a spectator sport, is how are you sharing your best practices? How are you helping other people live healthy together? Please DM me, share the videos, post it below. I want to see your best life. I want to see how when this thin veneer of civilization cracks, we can live healthy together. Thank you very much. Please share what you're doing with the rest of the world.